Anybody can go out and scoop dog poop. Anybody can go mow a lawn. Anybody can be a house cleaner, but you have to be able to run a business. Our company motto is going above and beyond. Anytime we can go above and beyond, we do, whether it's bringing trash cans up from the street, letting a customer know that they have a package on their front door. Do you want us to secure it for you? Just the little things that are helpful to them. When we started this business, by no means did we think we were the only poop scoopers in the world, but I had no clue what industry was already out there and what the industry would turn into, honestly.
Nicole went from 0 to 250 poop scooping clients, but it wasn't luck. The strategy behind it might change how you see business.
Welcome back to the Built Local podcast. Today we've got a poop scooper out of Southern Oregon, Nicole from Ladybug Scoops. How are you doing today, Nicole?
I'm doing great, Clay. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
I'm super happy to have you on. First thing I want to touch on, I think we talked about this the first time we met. How did you come up with the name Ladybug Scoops?
Ladybug Scoops. Ladybug is in memory of my dear friend and my husband's sister who passed away at a very young age from breast cancer. So that's just kind of a nod to her. And we always say that ladybugs are good for your yard. So it seemed to work.
Yeah. That's awesome. We sent my little sister away to college the other day, and when she was leaving, she had like 10 ladybugs on the back of her car.
Nice.
And we're like, I think that's good luck, right? That's
Yeah,
gotta be good luck.
definitely.
Awesome. Sweet. Well, yeah, today we want to dive into a little bit about the business and how you got started and how you've grown it to what you've grown it to so far. So I know y'all have been around for a while, but tell us how you discovered poop scooping and how you decided to go into it.
Yeah. So when I met my husband in 2017, I was just getting out of the casino industry and wasn't really working. And he had an established lawn care service. And part of his service, he just got so tired of dealing with dog poop, stepping in dog poop, mowing over dog poop, that he started to require that his clients pick it up. And if they didn't pick it up, he charged them before he before he mowed the lawn. So eventually that kind of started to grow a little bit. And there was one point where he had a client who he was poop scooping for and mowing for. And her husband, who was a Navy ship captain, who was away for half the year. Yeah. He was coming back from his tour or his duty, and he wanted to do the lawn service. But she asked if we could continue to pick up the dog poop. And that was just kind of a moment of like, wow, really?
Right.
Like, okay, yeah. And so we just grew that side of the business. And eventually we said that we're just going to do this full time. And so it was January 1st, 2019 that we officially started Ladybug Scoops as its own formal business.
Okay. Wow. Awesome. So got started in 2019. My father and mother-in-law own a lawn care company, and they talk about dog poop all the time. So I can see that being a strain. Like it's in the grooves of the tires, and it smells, and you put it on the trailer.
Flings everywhere. It's disgusting. He thought he would always say like, that's the work I do before I do the work. So it was just kind of mind blowing to him that somebody would just pay for him to do that and that only, and just kind of took off there. Yeah.
Awesome. So you got started January 2019. How many of those lawn care customers that you already had, was it a seamless transition? You just rolled in and got 10, 20 customers from the beginning? Or how much of that?
Dozen would be my guess, is we probably had a dozen clients who we were able to keep on as poop scooping. We had a lot of just poop scooping only clients. We were kind of doing both. And it just got to the point where we stopped taking new lawn clients and then just phased them out. So when we started I want to say we probably had about 45 clients.
Okay.
Recurring weekly clients. Yeah. And about a dozen of them we were able to retain from the lawn service.
Okay, cool. Is that a recommendation that you make to poop scoopers often, to find a partner in the lawn care industry or a similar industry to help out with? Or do you think it was just kind of a niche case since y'all are already doing the lawn care stuff?
I think that's just how we got into the business. But I think absolutely it helps to have partners in lots of different complementary services. We try to partner with a local mobile groomer. I do partner with a local lawn service. and
Mm,
a local, pet nanny, dog walker, where we just try to cross promote each other.
yeah. Okay, awesome. So beginning of 2019, you roll over about a dozen clients. From there, how do you grow? I mean, tell us about how many customers are you at nowadays?
Right now, we're sitting at 250 recurring weekly clients, and
Awesome.
it's honestly it's been a grind. When we started this business, by no means did we think we were the only poop scoopers in the world,
Yeah.
but I had no clue what industry was already out there and what the industry would turn into, honestly. It was probably a few years before I found my first poop scoop Facebook group, which was before it became the secret scooper group. I got into it and I
Yeah.
learned a lot there, and it just opened my eyes to the industry. So our growth was slow and steady and just a grind, doing anything and everything.
Anything and everything. So, what does that look like tactically? I mean, what channels were you going after? Was it yard signs, door hangers, posting in Facebook groups? I mean,
Yeah.
just everything?
Posting in Facebook groups, yard signs for sure, especially when we started, and we still do yard signs. We have people tell us all the time, we see your signs all around town.
Yeah.
Door knocking, and for me, that looks like just putting door hangers out on people's doors. We're not
Mhm.
actually knocking on the door and doing that type of sales, although I do think that there's some possibility there if you want to target your existing, where you already have, where you
Yeah.
want to grow, right? But we did a lot of, yeah, like I said, yard signs, door knocking, posted on Craigslist. Anywhere I could possibly post, I would post. Any
Yeah.
bulletin board I could put a business card up, any event that I can go to, even if I know I'm not really gaining customers from those events.
Mhm.
Just getting people to even know the service exists has been our biggest challenge.
Yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
and that's what I talked about with somebody earlier today about how a lot of the biggest thing you're facing for a lot of poop scoopers is just the fact that most homeowners don't even know it's a service. When I tell my parents that the number one industry we serve is poop scoopers,
Right.
they did not know what that was. But they were like, "What? What are you talking about?"
It's true. It's still every day I meet somebody who doesn't know the service exists. And when we started, we were by far the only service in the area. So there was zero awareness of this service at all. And
Mm,
a lot of the clients that we got were people who moved to this area from another area and already had that service or knew that the service existed because they came from outside this area. Yeah.
interesting. Okay, that's very
Mhm.
interesting. And so that seems to be like a common theme around everybody. Like in the beginning, in the early days, it's like spray and pray, throwing spaghetti at the wall, hustling, doing everything you can to get customers. But was there ever a moment throughout your growth where you kind of found the, hey, Facebook ads, Google, or whatever, you found a good channel that consistently, reliably produced customers for you?
Definitely. Just the more I learned business and the more I learned Facebook and being able to run my own ads, that was a game changer. Even just running continual $2 or $3 a day ads, awareness ads was critical for us. Just like I said, so people knew that we were a thing, that we existed. Yeah, Facebook for sure has turned into our most reliable source for leads.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, cool. And then when it comes to y'all, it started in 2019. Did the pandemic affect y'all that much, or was it
No, no, it really
awesome?
didn't. I mean,
I just kept plugging along.
we didn't engage with anybody. We didn't have any face to face with anybody but
Mhm.
dogs, and in that respect, right? There was no
Yeah.
slowdown in business. People were just
Okay.
getting more dogs, so we really didn't notice
Yeah.
a negative
That's
impact.
awesome.
We continued to grow. Yeah.
Well, what has the growth of the industry overall been like for somebody like you who 2019, that was before the rage and craze that's happened in the last like couple years
Yeah.
of poop
Yeah.
scoopers and growth. So what has it been like as somebody that's been in the industry for 6 years, which in this industry is pretty much an OG, pretty
I
much
know.
an original. What has it been like to experience and watch the growth? Is it scary? Is it exciting or
I mean, I think it's exciting. I mean, it's great for the industry that there's going to be more awareness that the service exists. I think that's something we probably all struggle with, even if you're a big established business. I think we still struggle with awareness that the service exists. It's brought out some competition in the area, which is, a competition is like not really competition because, again, we're trying to get more people to be aware of this. So just more
yeah.
people talking about the service. But yeah, we've seen some new companies pop up in the area. I think the boom within the industry is great. I think sometimes there's some unrealistic expectations that people have going into this, right? It's like, oh, when am I going to get my first 100 clients? Well,
Yeah.
how hard are you going to work, right?
Yeah.
And I guess it just depends because there probably are some really untapped areas where if you go into it and you hit it hard, you probably are going to grow really, really fast. But that's just not realistic for everybody. Like for me, like I said, it was a grind and
Yeah.
it still is a grind.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So you're telling me, Nicole, that I can't just like know nothing about business, grab a rake and a bucket and make $10,000 my first month? Is that what you're telling me?
That's what I'm telling you. Exactly.
But it's crazy. People genuinely think that. They're like, "Oh, you know," and I think it's difficult because the people that are marketing the industry, they have to have some sort of title or thumbnail or hook to get people to even watch the video, right?
Right.
And I think a lot of people in our industry and in the poop scooping industry actually do a good job of trying to set realistic expectations in
Right.
their videos, but it's still people get in la la land and they get worked up and they get excited, and we always want to think that, you know, we're the best version and the best case scenario is going to happen to us, but that's not always the case, as we know.
I like to say it's the same as any business, right? Anybody can go out and scoop dog poop. Anybody can go mow a lawn. Anybody can be a house cleaner, but you have to be able to run a business.
Yeah.
That's the difference. You have to be able to run a business, be consistent, grind, and run a business.
Yeah, for sure. And we talk about it's still a grind now. What does that look like nowadays? Is that long days? Is it just, you know, hard conversations? Is it managing people? You know, what's kind of the grind that you're referring to now, even 6 years in?
Well, for me, still, it's long days. I'm still in the field. My husband and I are still both in the field. That's one of my goals for the end of the year is to bring somebody on to help alleviate that. But just in terms of getting clients, it is not easy. People are not banging down my door. My phone is not ringing off the hook, right?
Yeah.
So I'm constantly having to follow up with the leads. I'm constantly having to, try to come up with new content and new ways to reach the audience. And yeah, it's just working hard, doing all of the things every day.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Wearing lots of hats.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so scooping for as long as you've been scooping, you have to have some crazy stories, right? So what's a crazy story or two of you out in the field scooping some poop?
I don't know that we have any like super crazy stories that I can think of off the top of my head. We have we put out a couple fires, right? There's been a couple fires in a client's garbage can
Oh,
that mentioned call me and tell me, "Yeah, I just put a fire out." And I was like, "Wow, okay." I'll make sure and let the client know that happened.
yeah.
And then also we saved a baby in a stroller from rolling out onto the street in front of a car once. So
Oh
yeah,
my gosh, that is insane. That's
that was pretty
was
crazy.
the mom not around? Are they not paying or parents not around, not paying attention?
Yeah, it
Or
was like the grandma was watching the kid, and my husband happened to be like kind of finishing up, at his truck, and she was unloading groceries and just like was like doing something with the grocery and didn't realize that the stroller was rolling down the driveway into the street. Yeah. So it was pretty, that wasn't like a super crazy street. She probably would have been okay, but it was,
well,
that's a
that's
story. Yeah.
yeah, no, I mean, it's life-saving, could have been life-saving, so that's awesome. And what you referred a little bit to competition. What do y'all try to do to stand out or go above and beyond for your customers?
Well, I think our company motto is going above and beyond, really. Like anytime we can go above and beyond, we do, whether it's bringing trash cans up from the street, letting a customer know that they have a package on their front door. Do you want us to secure it for you? Scooping up dead mice and rats and dead birds that are in their yard, right? Just the little things that are helpful to them. And sometimes we let them know that we do it and sometimes we don't. It's just,
Yeah,
providing exceptional customer service for our
yeah.
clients. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. It really does go a long way, especially even though it might go unnoticed for a while, but in the long run, consistently doing that stuff can really pay off.
Clients watch, right? Like I think they probably are, they might even know that we're doing these things without me even telling them because they are always watching. Even if you don't think they're watching, they are always watching.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like if you forget to lock the gate, they know immediately. But if you scoop it, do go the extra yard, you hope they're watching
Right.
as well too.
Right. Right.
Um, awesome. Well, when it comes to marketing, I know you said that Facebook has become a consistent channel for y'all. So are you able to manage all your Facebook ads? And then what's your lead follow-up process like? Like what is your kind of funnel from they don't know who you are to Facebook ad to paying customer? How does that work for you?
Well, right now, Facebook lead forms, right? So I have an automation set up where I get a text message on my phone as soon as I get a lead. So I'm able to follow up pretty quickly. I have a standardized just copy paste saved in my notes of my phone. So
Yeah.
I'm able to just, make any quick adjustments that I need to for that. But it's a pretty much copy and paste. I send it over with a picture of myself and the team and hope for a response. If I don't get a response, then I follow up the next day with just want to make sure that you got my quote. Let me know if I'm available if you have any questions. And then if I don't hear from anything back from them, then they go into a drip sequence for a little bit of time. And then after that, they go into like a long-term drip sequence. So
Okay.
yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Awesome. That sounds like you got it pretty dialed. And what about, let's talk a little bit about Google. Do y'all get calls from Google? Do y'all get customers from Google?
Yeah, we do. I actually just recently started running some Google ads. Like I said, for a long time, we were the only show in town, right? So if you were searching for poop scooping, you were finding us, and running Google ads wasn't really a necessity. And I'm not sure that it's a necessity right now either, because we still are ranking first on Google in all of our service areas. But we do like being able to track if I'm getting those leads from Google. So
Mhm.
yes, we do sign some people up from that. Just actually signed somebody up yesterday that was a Google lead. So
Awesome.
I'm hopeful that that will take off. But again, like I think that kind of goes hand in hand with us being not a huge area. We're really not
Mhm.
that big of a service area.
Mhm.
And people just don't know that the service exists. So
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And that's, we talk about Facebook ad, you're talking about interruption marketing. You can target
right,
everyone in your area no matter what they know or think about, right? If you're going to
right,
Google, you are limited to, especially Google search,
right,
you are limited in SEO and organic ranking. You're limited to the number of people typing in your keywords every month, right? So if only 50 people in your area are typing in poop scooping, then you only got 50, potential chances to get a customer there. So that is
right.
difficult that it's capped. And you've been a Review Harvest customer for a little while now. Do you remember how many reviews you had when you got started with Review Harvest?
I do. I think we had about 60, maybe
Okay.
approaching 60. And
Yeah.
that's only because I had spent the previous 6 months to a year, like trying to make a concerted effort to increase our Google reviews. So before that, I probably had like 30, right?
Yeah.
And the way that I was doing it was I would ask a client, right? They love us. We engage with them on their property. They are so thankful for us. They are, so grateful. We ask them to leave a review. They say that they will, and then they never do. Or texting a link to get a Google review after service has been completed, maybe for like a one-time cleanup, or, just after the first couple of services, or even after a client has stopped service for whatever reason, their dog died or they're moving, hope you've loved, enjoyed our service, with a link. And then I've also even tried having business cards made with, rate reviews on Google with a QR code that directly went to our Google review. So,
You tried it
it just,
all.
it, we tried a lot. Yeah. But what it takes is that consistency and that follow up and doing it all, doing the same thing every time.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. So y'all are at around 60 reviews, and
Right.
now how many reviews do you have?
We have 184.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome. I always ask that question because just so if anybody listening, they're probably like, why doesn't Clay know how many reviews they have? And like, I do know how many reviews they have, but I'm always curious to know how many reviews people think they have. Cause I can see like I'll hop on calls with people and they'll be like, oh yeah, we had 124 Google reviews before we started working with you. And I look at it and be like, no, you had 78. Like I can see it right here. I can see it. I'm on my screen. I
How
see
many
it.
did I have before we started?
No, you were dead on. You were dead on. You were like right around
Oh,
60.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, no, so you were dead on. You were right. But a lot of times people just like have no clue,
Right.
or they think they have less than reviews than they actually do. But yeah,
Right.
you're dead on. You're on 60 and 184 on the top end. So that's awesome. What's your favorite part about Review Harvest?
The fact that it just does its thing over here and I don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
And that the reviews are posted to the socials. I think I love that feature. I think that's great.
Yeah.
It's just it's another way of helping me with content creation, kind of.
Mhm.
It's being active on my social media without having to do anything. So
Yeah.
right.
Sure. And that feature is about to get so much better. You've probably seen my email, but that feature is
Yeah.
about so much better. We're so excited because yeah, it's just gonna look good. You're gonna be proud of it. You're gonna want them posted on your stories and stuff like that. So we're excited about that. But yeah, we hear that consistently. It's like as a business owner, you're wearing so many hats. You're doing so many things. And kind of the goal of Review Harvest is what is one thing that we can kind of, take off a business owner's plate where they never have to worry about it. And we want reviews to be that thing where you plug in with us, we set you up, and then you never have to worry about it ever again. And so we're happy to take that off your plate.
It's so important. Like as competition pops up, right? Like I've recently expanded into a new service area that's
Mhm.
about 40 minutes from my main area.
Mhm.
And because we rank so well, right? Because we have so many Google reviews, we're able to rank first in that service area over the people who live there, whose
Yeah.
business is based out of that town.
Mm.
And that's huge for me to be able to try to expand in a service area that far away and rank number one. That
Yeah.
is, having reviews, not only that many reviews, but having them continually coming in because of
Yeah.
the process,
Yeah.
that's helped so much.
Yeah, and that's like I tell people all the time or talk to people all the time with calls who are like, "Yeah, I'm the big dog in my area, I've been around for 20 years and I serve most amount of customers." And I go look at their Google business profile and I'm just like, "You don't look like the big dog in your area." Like you don't look like the
Right.
best company in your area because you've got 10 other competitors with more reviews than you, and somebody that's looking for your service, they don't know you've been around for 20 years. They're just trying to hire somebody to do something, right? And so that those
Exactly.
reviews can give you a little bit of a buffer between the new competition and can kind of give you let everybody else know that you're the no-brainer option in your market. So that's awesome to hear.
Right. Right. That was almost me, right? Like we have these new scoopers coming up and there's a new guy that's got 30 reviews, right? I was only 30 reviews behind him and
Yeah.
6 years longer in business. So I was
Yeah.
like, I gotta get myself
Yeah.
together here. Yeah.
Yeah, now you're the no-brainer. The Ladybug Scoops is the no-brainer option in your area, and
Right.
that's definitely the goal. And so when we dive into we win the past, how you grew, it's been a grind. But what are the things for the future? I know you said you want to get out of the field. What are your
Yeah.
plans for Ladybug Scoops, and how are you planning to get there?
Well, for a long time, I didn't know what we were going to do. I thought we would maybe find our happy medium and just continue to work. I mean, I don't hate the work. I get to
Yeah,
play with dogs. I'm outside. I listen to
yeah,
music, right? So it's not work that I hate, but just being more involved in the community and really seeing the potential for the business. I want to grow it. I think that there's potential to double our clientele. I'd like to grow by 100 clients by the end of this next spring rush, which I think is possible.
for sure.
So my goal is to have an employee onboarded and working by the end of the year, which will really probably not get me out of the field 100%, but will at least give me some dedicated days, full days where I'm not in the field. Right
Yeah,
now, I'm in the field 5 days a week.
yeah,
Some days I'm only working for an hour, I have 10 jobs really quick. Boom, done, 2 hours, I'm done.
yeah,
Other days it's a full day. I've got a 30 route, 30 jobs on my route. So
yeah.
I think that's probably my primary focus right now. I think
Okay.
until I get that, I can't really make too many other goals.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Well, and I think people listening to this are probably either in the same stage with any home service company or a poop scooping company where they're like, I'm wearing all the hats, I'm doing all the marketing, I'm doing everything, I'm also out in the field. And so if you do get out of the field, then once you have your office days, you have your full office days where you don't have a route or whatever. Do you already know kind of how you're going to replace that work? Or is it going to be like, hey, I'm working till 7 p.m. right now to do stuff. I'm just going to do that from 8 to 4 instead.
Probably both. Probably
Okay.
a little of both. Honestly, I do spend a lot of time working in the evenings, which I don't love just because I have a
Yeah.
6-year-old kid and I would like to be able to spend some
Sure.
time with him if I'm banging on the door. But I also have, I just have a list of things that I want to pursue for the business. I think that could help the business grow, but they're just not top priorities right now. So they're sitting on the back burner. So I think it'll give me more opportunity to do that, to fine tune my relationships with all of the other groomers in the area. I've done that. I've gone and talked to them and given them business cards, but I want to be able to visit them on, I don't know if it's a monthly basis, but at least a quarterly basis. Same with like the realtors and the property managers in my area.
Yeah.
I have a lot of ideas for like working with them in the future,
Yeah.
but it's not where my time needs to be focused right now.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Awesome. That's really cool. And then what is something that you'd wanna tell to somebody that's thinking about starting a home service company, or they just started and in the beginning days and they're struggling, whether it's a poop scooping or whatever? What would you tell them if you had to put yourself back into 2019 or 2020 when you were really on the grind and, didn't have a lot of proof yet? What would you tell them to do?
That's hard. I think if it were me and knowing what I know now and being able to go back and do it again, I would have made sure that I had my systems in place and would have gone hard from the beginning. Because
Mm,
I didn't even know what going hard meant when I started this business, right? Now I know what it means. I would get my systems in place so you're not having to come up, put your systems together as you're figuring it out, right? Which is kind of what I'm doing now.
yeah,
But I would have them your systems in place and I would go hard because there is potential in this. Like, this is an untapped market for a
yeah,
lot of areas, and there's a lot
yeah,
of opportunity. But with that being said, you have to be realistic about what your expectations are and how quickly you're going to be able to grow. I think you need to
mhm,
be able to set some realistic expectations
yeah.
for quickly you're gonna be able to get your clients. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I think this was really beneficial for people. Is there any parting words you want to leave with anybody? We'll have all her links down below to Lady Scoops down
Yeah.
below in the description. Anything you want to tell the audience before we head out?
No, I'm excited to be here with you, Clay. I know I've probably talked to a lot of people online and in the scooper community, and I'm just kind of excited to keep doing that and, learning from each other. I think this is great. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we were stoked to have you on. Everybody drop a comment down below for Nicole and like this video, and we hope y'all have a great rest of your day. Thanks for hopping on, Nicole.